Well, speaking of luck running out, the closest battle that I can see on track is about a second between Jeff Jacobs and Anthony Woodward. Jacobs has been the man on the move. He qualified in third, but he must have slipped a little bit farther down in the field because right now he's sitting in fourth, and we've been seeing him try to work his way back up through. Now, what are his lap times? I'm not sure if you've been watching this, Brian, if you have any information on what kind of pace he's running
I,
comparatively.
I have been. He's been running down. He's been running down Anthony, little bit by little bit. I mean, in particular, his last lap was about a second quicker. Now you see that gap is absolutely evaporated up to Anthony. Now we're going to have to see where Jeff might be able to make that overtake through these really tricky parts of the track.
Now, Jeff Jacobs is a driver that has come good in the last year since last season. He used to be one of the mid-pack slash back markers, as actually Anthony even goes defensive there down into turn 11. And I think a good run should do it here for Jeff Jacobs with the pace that he's got as we ride on his roof. But I was going to say, Jeff Jacobs has absolutely found the speed, and I don't think he's going to be worried at all once his teammate Wyatt Gooden jumps in, who's known to be one of the fastest drivers on the entire iRacing service. And with these guys fighting for the championship, in fact, I think they're pretty high up in the points. I wonder if this is going to seal the deal for them, or if they're maybe looking to try and wrap up the championship here.
Yeah, it's really worth noting. I think Anthony is the old expression is I think he's sitting on the hot stove and trying to sweat ice water. Every single corner, he has taken a very, very defensive line into the corner. Jeff has been running his line absolutely fine, lap in and lap out, corner in and corner out. But I think it's worth watching. Anthony is really taking a defensive stance here.
He's trying to hold on to that position. Well off the apex, much closer for Jeff Jacobs, but still not close enough to try and make a move. Not really a good idea to try and pass into here. Gonna wait, get a good exit out of the final corner to climb up the hill, but both of them got on the power just about equally, so I'm not sure he's gonna have the chance as they climb the hill.
And now they're coming into the tricky turn one. Once again, a defensive line. Jeff really took it wide, trying to get a nice run off, and you see a little bit of tire wiggle, or the back end of the car wiggle from Anthony there. Jeff is really putting it on. I think he's been saving his stuff throughout most of this run, or at least trying to figure out a way to keep everything in balance. It's a hot day. You're watching the dynamic track starting to weather in. If you looking through some of the corners, there's a very dark shade and a very clear racing line that has started to emerge. So now the track might be changing a little bit. Doesn't matter for Christian. He's now checked out by 12.5 seconds. But I think this track now is starting to work into Jeff's favor. And kind of as you mentioned, now he goes to hand off to his teammate. Here we go again. He's going to take a defensive line. Let's see how this one comes out on the other side. Takes it really wide. Tries to get the power down, mash that loud pedal, but Anthony is just able to squeak away again.
He definitely had a big squirm coming out of turn 11, though. That was set up coming out of 9 with a great run by Jacobs. This time he is right on that rear spoiler, closes in. Is he going to look? No. He elects not. He could have had a great opportunity into there, and he backs off of it.
I think he backed off because there's a lap car right up ahead, and now the lap car takes a very, gets well clear out of the way. Kudos to them. But if he would have made that move, that would have put him 3 wide with the lap car, and I don't think he wanted to do that.
That was Ernest Pretorius of SAR Racing, who got out of the way. And, kudos to Jeff. He is playing that endurance racing mindset. He knows if he's got better pace on the car in front, he's going to get more opportunities. There's still an hour and 42 minutes left to go.
Absolutely. When you got that much time to go, you just have to make sure that the car isn't going to come back in one piece. Because it's like the old racing expression, to finish first, one must first finish.
Always a good one to go by. Certainly has helped me to a win or two over the years, especially since I don't have the speed. Now heading down into the final corner. Jacobs might have taken just a little bit of a peek. He's much closer, but it looks like once again a good run by Woodward coming out of the final turn. Now climbing up the hill into one. Let's see what he can do in the hairpin.
I think the key difference in this battle is Anthony's car is better at getting out of the corners and Jeff's car is better at getting in. I think that's how we keep seeing him be able to squeak out maybe a tenth or two out of the corner, but it keeps Jeff behind him just enough to where he doesn't really feel like that's much of a threat behind him.
Yeah, he's certainly doing a great job. Yeah, we have to give credit to Anthony. I thought this was going to be a done deal in maybe a lap or two, but he's still holding him back. He has gone defensive a few times, but it's just been great racing, been cool under pressure here with the bad Cactus Green Machine. They're going to have one more lap car. That's Sonny Canchin, our leader in the ST class. Oh, big squirm from Anthony Woodward coming out of 9, but this time he's able to keep the power down.
Okay, forget what I said about getting out of the corners. Fine, that car was all over the place coming out of that corner.
I don't know how he managed to hold a gap. It looked like the car was almost sideways coming out of there.
I think that's just pure driving talent right there. That is, Anthony is working so hard to keep Jeff behind him because I think, as you were saying, Anthony knows that the guy that's going to step into that car is going to be equal to or better than the guy that's in there right now. So he's doing everything he can to maintain that gap.
I think he's got lead weights in the trunk or something. The way that he's able to get grip when the car is just wiggling all over the place. He's opened up the gap. What used to be almost half a second is now a second, more than a second between himself and Jacobs.
This car wasn't put together by Smokey Unick's garage, was it? There's no lead buckshot falling out of it anywhere.
That's a good one.
I don't know, though. I'm not sure if they can do that digitally, but I'm sure the marshals will be taking a look at it after the race. Look at the gap; it's growing once again. He's found his legs. He's starting to get away from Jacobs.
Well, by running that defensive line, I think that he made Jeff burn his stuff up a little bit. So now Jeff's tires aren't as happy, and when you make these tires unhappy, they will definitely let you know that they are.